story that we covered the other day. His name is Patric Lyoya. Patric Lyoya was killed by Christopher Schurr. They call him Officer Christopher Schurr. I don't really call him an officer, because when you lose a wrestling match and you decide to shoot the other person, then you're not really much of an officer. You're kind of a and I'm not sure. Let's just give credit where credit is. Right? Let's give credit. You guys hit the like button if you would, please. Everybody take your finger and just hit the like button real quick. Just take your finger right there and hit the like button. Just do that for me if you would, please. I'd really appreciate it. So, and let's give credit where credit is due, right? The first time you guys heard beta male was when I called Cop Nardine in which, by the way, and I'm going to address this one last time here. Listen, you can't reach Discord like that. I posted it in the community. The way you reach Discord, and I'll just show you guys, and then I want to get on to the Christopher story here, because I got to keep going. I got to keep driving where I'm going to. But the way that you reach Discord is by going through this right here. It's HTTP. It's HTTP right there, that bottom one. dis.gd right there. That's how you contact Discord. That's right. That's the way that you contact Discord. So make sure. What's going on, Tim Lyons? Good you're in the house, man. Good to see you, brother. I'll see you soon. Hi, Sharon. How you doing, honey? Nice to see you. I still call women honey because where I was raised, and it's the wrong thing, Cope Dog. You can't reach it. I tried it. I sent them in. You got to put this, Cope Dog. You see it where it says H. It says HTTPS//. So Tim, you guys put this in there for the Discord account. It's right there. You see that? It's okay, Cope Dog. You didn't know. I didn't know either. How you doing, Nathan? Good to see you. Right there. Put that in the Discord if you would, please. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Nice to see everybody. All right, and then we're going to get into this video here a little bit because this is pretty nasty. But I want you guys to hear what this attorney says. I only listened to bits and pieces of this. I haven't heard the whole thing yet because it just aired, and I was doing my own thing there when it was airing. But I want you guys to see this so you kind of know exactly what's happened here. And I'm going to set this up right here. And I got my little Bose speaker box. I tried to set up real nice for the drive, but as usual, nothing's easy. There's nothing easy. There's nothing going to be done easy. If you think it's going to be easy, you can guess again. It's not going to be easy. It won't be easy. Don't think it's going to be easy. So this is the story, and I'm going to show you guys this right here. Good to see you. How's you doing, Belfast? Oh.
Battery 9. Defending people charged with serious criminal offenses and state and federal
1 second.
trials. And
let me turn off the Bluetooth on this. 1 second.
JD's iPhone.
Let me make sure this speaker box works so you guys can really. You son of a. It worked just a second ago.
It's at least depicted on the video. There is at least some evidence or sufficient evidence for a prosecutor to charge a second-degree murder charge, even if it was a police officer
Device
and
not found.
a person.
Ready to pair. Connected to iPhone 2.
Going forward, what are going to be the available defenses?
Okay, listen to what this guy says, and see if you agree.
A person on the street
with what he says here
on the charges.
Okay, so they ask him what he thinks about the charges. I want you guys to listen to what this man says and tell me if you agree with his statement overall about police in general. I listened to this a minute ago. I want you guys to hear it.
Well, I'm not surprised that there was a second-degree murder charge. Reviewing itself and seeing what happened that's at least depicted on the video, there is at least some or sufficient evidence for a prosecutor to charge a second-degree murder charge, even if it was a police officer and a person on the street. The question then becomes, from this point forward, what are going to be the available defenses for the person who's been charged and how the case is going to proceed after that.
What do you think some of those defenses could possibly be?
One of the things that can be done is that request or to defend on a lesser included offense. I think the civil lawyers have attempted to submit jury instructions to the various members of the press, but I'll kind of give you a short summary that he's charged with second-degree murder, and that requires very specific types of mental states. Nobody questions that when you put a gun up to someone's head and pull a trigger that somebody is intending to shoot somebody. But for instance, there's a lesser included offense of second-degree murder called voluntary manslaughter, where if the person is in the heat of passion or is been under extreme emotional state and they react within that state, if the jury finds something like that, then that would be a voluntary manslaughter, which is a lesser offense. Given the intensity of the situation, I expect that is going to be one of the defenses raised, that this was not a second-degree murder case, and it's more of a voluntary manslaughter case.
Well, you mentioned the intense interest in this case. Do you think there'll be any chance of this trial maybe being moved out of this area because of the intense interest?
I think probably not. I think that it's very difficult to get venue changed in a criminal case. Typically, that doesn't happen unless there's clear evidence, either immediately before trial or during trial, that you just can't sit an impartial jury. There are usually enough people in a large county like Kent County that either don't know enough or don't have any strong feelings about the case where you can get a fair and impartial jury.
And of course, Becker also mentioned the fact that there's no felony firearm charge that's going to go along with this. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not sure I agree with his legal analysis on that. I will say that from the defense point of view, I understand the decision that he made, and that there is some authority that if somebody's acting within their authority as a police officer, the state of Michigan has found that in fact,
did you hear what he
cannot
just said?
charge felony firearm. That there is some
Thoughts on that?
Listen to what he says.
I'm not sure I agree with his legal analysis on that. I will say that from the defense point of view, I understand the decision that he made.
You understand
and that,
the decision
there is
that he
some
made.
authority that if somebody's acting within their authority as a police officer, the state of Michigan has found that in fact you cannot charge felony firearm. The real is going to be whether he was actually acting with lawful law enforcement authority. So it really is debatable whether or not a felony firearm charge could have been issued.
All right, Attorney Marco, we are going to put you on hold for a moment as we head back to Detroit, where Ven Johnson's law offices are continuing to hold their press conference.
One of, sadly, hundreds of cases. Has an officer ever been charged before in one of my cases? So that's the level of my cynicism. And I commend Mr. Becker for getting beyond that. To me, this was so crystal clear that these charges absolutely had to be. The Michigan State Police doing an investigation clearly led to these charges, which tells you, although they don't make charging decisions, they felt this was what's called, sorry folks, a bad shoot.
You think?
Translation, not justified under the law.
Right.
Yes, even with resisting arrest.
Yes.
Yes, even with
Yes.
potentiality for alcohol.
Yes.
Yes, even if there were other criminal issues going on. It's so crystal clear the prosecutor filed charges of second-degree murder because, as we've been saying from day one, none of that stuff matters as it pertains to this interaction on that day. Hope I answered your question.
Mr. Johnson, but does Mr. Lyoya want to make a statement? Does he want to say anything?
Not right now. He's going to answer questions, please. Go for it.
Ben, can you share, since Mr. Becker called you before you came out here, and it was a private moment,
Yes.
can you share with us both your reaction and Patric's dad's reaction to the call and that decision?
To be fair, and to be accurate, Mr. Becker actually called Peter. But I, of course, identified that I was in the room so they knew. In our legal world, that is a professional courtesy, and I would want the same. So when Peter answered the phone. He put it on speaker.
Wakati Peter alijibia simu akaitia kwa speaker.
I introduced myself. He was already aware of Israel's security, but I explained to him that he is our interpreter and that we were all ears. It was very brief. It was very to the point, even shorter than what he did at the press conference. And he expressed his condolences, apologized for what had to feel to the family like taking too long. Explained why it took that long. And just like any good, responsible prosecutor, promised that there would be follow-up.
See, what did I tell you guys? I told you that Patric Lyoya could not speak or understand English properly, and he didn't know what the cop was saying to him. And now his father only speaks a different language.
In terms of cooperation between the family.
Call from DONALDGIGLIO.
Let me tell you the name of this video, guys, so you guys can watch it. Because what'll happen now is that's the name of the video right there. It's on 13 on your side. Everybody can watch the video right there. You see where that is? So he was the guy that filmed, I think that was the guy that filmed Patric Lyoya's death.
That's what I want to tell the people. I want to say thank you to Ben Crump, Attorney Ben Crump, Ben Johnson. I want to say thank you also to Attorney Ben Johnson. Where we have come today. My heart was really broken during these 2 months, the past 2 months.
Of course it was. Your son was murdered.
Because a lot of things were said. I was not quite sure with the truth in my hand. And I was thinking maybe there's no justice in America. And to go according to what the prosecutor just said, to charge the police officer who killed Patric. Patric is not coming back. We are not see him again. And to show this point that the police officer will be charged and is charged.
kuona kama wale ambao wamesupport wamefanya wako katika kazi ya msingi.
And that brings a little bit of consolation to our family because we see everybody that will support us, everybody who stand by us, they did a good job to get this kind of justice.
Lakini nitawashukuru sana nyie wote.
And I want to say thank you to all of you, the media.
Hatutaishia hapa.
We are not done here.
Lakini tuendeleshe kutafuta tu mpaka tupate justice ya mwisho.
Let's go till to the end and let's get the last justice for Patric.
Basi namalizia pale na washukuru sana.
I want to just stop there and want to say thank you so much.
Sir, Ben Israel for Commissioner Lawz. You guys have been on this for a long time and seen that video over and over again. As difficult as it is to watch, do you think you would have gotten those charges without it?
Since it only shows the truth, I would certainly hope so. But let's be real. In a word,
did you guys hear what he just said? With no video, nothing would have happened. If there's no video, I can't help you.
You had members of the community on the ground recreating.
Call from Spinrisk.
Tafuta kujimbia si kama hapo ungekuwa video unasema tulipata justice leo.
Mimi najua hatungekuona ile video na kuonesha jinsi watoto wao wanajua hatungekuja kwa hiyo kwa.
Okay, I want to say, and I know, if we didn't see the video and if we didn't show the world what happened to Patric, we were not going to be here where we are.
Exactly.
And also myself, I was going to say that thank you to the media, special to Miss Edward and Jacqueline. They were the first person to contact, and I had an interview with them and tell them exactly what happened. It's because of the video and what we did, and the attorney and Mr.
Because of the video.
What we have got a little bit justice. What we have heard today. Without that video, there will be no justice at all.
There would be no justice at all.
And I'd like to say, once I heard from.
So you guys see the title of the video right there. Take a look. That's where the video is. If you guys want to watch the whole video, I want you to watch it. But the thing is my number, my number's been doxxed, and so what they'll do now is they'll just call my phone 100 times while I'm. You can hear the spam risk calls. That is that person on YouTube who's just spamming my phone. So I can't really do anything about it. You know, it's just incredibly rude, and it just won't stop. So that's why I'm filing a lawsuit, because I mean I should be able to just do what I do without being harassed like this, and it's pretty bad, but that's okay. I want you guys to be able to go look up that video though. I want you guys to truly understand what happened to Patric Lyoya.
Battery 90%. Call from.
You know, I want you guys to truly understand what happened to him. He was murdered 100%. It's absolutely horrific.
iPhone 2 disconnected. Ready to pair.
And so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at this horrifically bad system where the only way that you can get any kind of justice for your family or for you is if it's caught on camera. And, you know, I talk to people all the time, and I explain to them that I really can't help you. I wish I could help you, but I can't as long as you don't have a video. If you don't have a video, it doesn't matter how powerful, you know, our movement is. It doesn't matter. What matters is you have to have a video. You know, you have to have a video. And that's, and you just heard those guys, definitely from some country in Africa somewhere. They have the Afrikaans accent. So I don't know where they're from exactly. It would probably require a little digging, a little investigation. And so you get to this place where you start to realize, and this people, you know, these people who contact me all the time and they want me to help them, you know, I'm really pretty powerless unless, of course, you have a video. If you have a video, then I can probably help you, but I can't really help anybody unless you have a video. That's the reason why they sounded French is because the French do a lot of work globally, including sending missionaries over to teach English and French to people in Africa, all different countries. So, you know, I wish that I could, you know, when I get this number switched over, then I will be able to show you guys videos on my other phone or on an iPad, but I won't be able to do that until I change my phone number. You know, it's just the way it is. And it doesn't, the people who try to bother me, it doesn't bother me. I just keep going because I don't stop. I'm not going to stop under any circumstances. I'm not going to quit doing what I'm doing because people, oh, they call from Google numbers and they call from internet numbers where they just try to harass me. It just doesn't work though. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Like signing me up for different websites. I don't care. I just swipe it and delete it. I have to delete about 60 messages a day anyway. So I'm just used to it. It's no big deal. But it's because YouTube is allowing it to happen. It's ultimately YouTube will be held liable for the things that are happening if they don't do the right things and enforce their user agreement. It's just that simple. YouTube ultimately is liable. And that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. And it sucks. There's some things that suck, but for the most part though, you know, you got to remember, these are people who don't have any life at all. They don't care about anything but themselves, or they want it to be the status quo, same old, same old. And that's not what we are. We're a movement for change. We're a movement for a new direction. And that's really what we are. You know, oh man, you know, I think for the most part that there's going to be probably, I would say 90% of cases, if you don't have a video, you're just going to lose. You're just going to go through hell. You know, you're just going to, you know, look at Kent. Kent is charged with felonies, and he really didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong at all. It's really sad. Okay, so that's where I'm going. Yeah, there's a new party coming. I've already written a third party. I just haven't had time because of how many different legal things I'm doing and also studying all the time. And, you know, and it's hard. It's really hard. It's hard to balance everything. You know, I don't have enough hours in the day. And I really do absolutely work every single hour of every single day. There's not a day that I don't work. I just continue to put forward every single day. You know, I missed a day this week where I would come on and do a video, but I was busy prepping lawsuits. You know, that's what I was doing. I was getting ready to file 2 more lawsuits against 2 more people. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to sue them. And then that's what I'm going to do. I have no choice. Does this guy live out of his car? Yeah, I have everything in my van. I have absolutely everything. I travel the country. That's all I do is travel the country. And people are like, oh, the guy lives in his van down by a river. Awesome. I live in a van down by a river. There you go. You got me. You have beaten me. You have slain me. You know, your insult just ended everything I am. You know, I'm glad I get to just kind of talk it out, and then I get back to who I am, which is I'm a pretty happy guy normally. I walk around who I am, and I'm not afraid of that one bit. So, but you guys can see that they're going to charge that filthy pig. They're going to charge that filthy pig with murder 2, which he's not going to be convicted. If he's convicted of murder 2, I'd be really shocked, to be honest. I would be absolutely shocked if he was convicted of murder 2. I would be just absolutely shocked. I really would. And unfortunately, I have to turn off my other phone because the people over there on that Discord account continue to mass call my phone. So I have to turn my other phone off, even though I pay for the service. Even though it's my service, I'm not allowed to use my service because the woman over there on that YouTube channel created a Discord account specifically to harass me, specifically to be a nuisance. And, you know, all I do is keep track of everything. And you guys will see eventually that channel will be gone. It'll be gone off YouTube. Because if it's not, then I'll sue everybody involved. I'll sue the people who are going to be held liable for allowing this to happen. That's what I'll do. And then we'll see if things start to move. We'll see if things start to change then. Hang on one second. I've got to fix my map. Patric Lyoya. When we take a look at Patric Lyoya's case, oh, it's just par for the course. You know, you're going to go through trials and tribulations of life that are going to be frustrating. And there's not really much you can do about it. You just got to get through them. It's almost like it's not even worth getting into the ridiculousness of what that just said. So when you take a look though at Patric Lyoya, just remember that without the video camera, there's no case. The cop, Christopher Schurr, he shoots Patric in the back of the head, and if there's no video of that, then you know what happens? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you then have to put together that the only reason that Patric Lyoya will get any sort of attempt at justice is because there was a video camera on the scene. That's the whole thing. That's the entire thing. That just because there was a camera on, then Patric Lyoya could get justice for being murdered by a cop who never communicated properly. When that cop grabbed Patric Lyoya, he never said anything. He just grabbed him. He just said, no, you're not going over there. And he physically grabbed him. I mean, why? Why did that cop find it so necessary to grab him? If the car is stolen and he's going to run off, you got the car back, so you just saved the victim. If the car was stolen, but apparently the car was not stolen. If he's going to run off, great. You got him on body camera. That's it. You got him. You don't need to chase him anymore. That whole idea of this cat and mouse where I have to chase this person because I want to get them, that idea can come to an end now. Because if you've done something bad enough, you're going to get caught. Kent is okay. Kent is fine. Those charges for Kent came 3 weeks ago. Of course, Kent didn't tell me about them, and I'm just hearing about them. But remember, I'm not an Ohio attorney, so all I'm doing is looking at his case and kind of mulling it over with him and talking with him about it. What do I know, right? So Christopher Schurr would have got away with literally holding a guy down, and then when he couldn't hold him down anymore because he got tired, he shot the guy in the back of the head. He would have got away with that. He would have got away with it. He would, just so you know, that happened to someone's family member 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. What we're seeing right now is the best the cops can possibly behave. They've been dog poo. They've been dog crap in our system since the inception of the word police. We should never have that word in America. We should only have rights protectors. Only have rights protectors. In total, have rights protectors. That's it. Because as long as we have this ridiculous statement called law enforcement, we live under a stick of authority that none of us want to live under. I don't want to be law enforced. I don't want it. If I'm driving too fast through here, I don't want to be law enforced. It's not the way to do it. You're not going to teach me anything. You learn when you actually talk to other people and you learn empathy. But it takes time. You have to grow up. You have to sit down with other people who tell you their plight and what they had to go through. The idea of law enforcing on people has got to come to an end. We have to end this jail prison system. It's not working. It's not going to work. I mean, I'm sorry that we get bombarded. And just so you guys know, and tell me if I'm incorrect here, but the most hatred you guys have seen on YouTube, doesn't it come right here? I mean, isn't that what you guys are seeing? And so then you have to ask yourself, why are you seeing that amount of vitriol and hatred towards me? Because I'm for change. That's why. And I don't care if people don't like it. I don't give a shit. The only thing that, I mean, of course, it bothers me being stalked and tracked. That's just morbid. That's twisted. But the amount of hatred that we get is because we are for change. You can have San Joaquin Valley transparency all day long. San Joaquin Valley transparency all day will repost other people's videos, and that guy makes 20, 30, 40,000 bucks a month. And he doesn't want anything to change. He's making a ton of money, and he's doing very well for himself. I'm very happy for you, David. I'm glad you're making a ton of money sharing other people's videos who do the work. Really happy to see that, buddy. But he's not an agent of change. You can walk around saying, do you know your First Amendment rights? That's not an agent of change. The other day, someone was talking to me about the libertarian platform. And they started to talk about something. And I said, okay, great. What's the action plan to achieve that political agenda? And he said, excuse me? and this is just the other night in Manchester. I said, what is your action plan to achieve the agenda that you're stating is going to be on the libertarian platform? What is that agenda? And he said, what do you mean? And I said to him, it's very simple. A platform is a set of agendas. If I put a set of agendas across the platform, on each different freckle on my arm is a different agenda. Now, on your platform, you have sets of agendas, and then under each agenda, you have an action plan to make that agenda come to reality. Your action plan has to be reality-based. And this is where I have that debate with my buddy Brian over at High Impact Flicks. I don't think his action plan is reality-based. I think if we tried to change the entire social structure, if we tried to change the entire culture of what everybody knows and understands, we'll go to a revolutionary war, is what I think. Now, I don't want to talk mockingly about volunteerism or anarchism, because I think it's only fair to hear an intelligent point of view, even though sometimes I can be a little bit condescending. However, you have to have an action plan to achieve your agenda, or you're just popping in the wind. Now, the reason why we get so much vitriol is because we actually do have an action plan. We can implement transparency now. We don't need to wait. We can do it now. It could start right now. That's what could happen. And so people are like, oh my God, the system might actually change now. And that scares the hell out of some people. That scares the hell out of some people. Let me see if I can fix my internet sometime. Man, you have a plan. Yes, I really have a plan. I have an actual plan. Yeah, you got to just keep moving forward. But I do want to recognize that you guys are witnessing. The reason why you're witnessing so much vitriol is because change is at the cusp of breaking right now. If we push hard enough, it only took 3% to go to a revolutionary war against England, who was the biggest, baddest boy on the block. Do I still got you? Hello, Special Ed Andrew. What's going on, Playboy? Nope, I'm not going to be, I will not be in Massachusetts tomorrow. I will not be in Massachusetts tomorrow. So all of my friends had things I had to do. So I 100% will not be in Massachusetts tomorrow. So that's what's going on. I'm not going to be there tomorrow. But now I want to talk about a little more in detail about the most important part here, the change. The change. So that means that we have to challenge these jackboot thugs. We have to get rid of this current law enforcement in America. We have to get rid of it. We have to rid ourselves of it. So there's that. You got to think about that. You know? So, and how do we do that? Well, we disrespect these guys. You sign up to be a pig, we disrespect you. And I'm talking, I don't respect your authority. I don't respect you. I think you look like a clown. Disrespect them so that they start to understand that we're not going to be led around with a whip. That's not how it's going to go. We are going to fight back through assembly, legislation, and petition. That's how we're going to fight back. Oh man, Larry, James Sheets is just, I mean, it's just so sad. You know, every time his name comes up, it just, oh man, bareback blue, that's funny. A libertarian would definitely end Nixon's war on drugs. Yeah, but go ahead and list 3 libertarians who are in government right now. Go ahead, I'll wait. Can you guys list 3 libertarians who currently hold seats in government right now? I agree with a lot of libertarian principles. There's a lot of things about libertarianism that I agree with. But go ahead and list 3 politicians who are libertarians in government right now. Can anybody do that? There's 0. Because the left and the right, the Democrats and Republicans, have created a monopoly, an absolute monopoly on the government. And they've done it by creating, making it impossible for any third-party candidate to have any kind of chance to run. And I think that we have to change that. I think we're on the cusp of it now. I think we're super close. Work Lion, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. How's everybody doing today? Hit the number 1 button. Let me know where you guys are from. Everybody hit the like. Take your finger. Just hit the like button. I get full of fire and vinegar, and then I come back down, and then I'm calm again. But I go through that, because if someone punches me, I want to fight them back. Number 1, where are you from? Yeah, I've got, what's going on, Massachusetts? Good to see you. What do you think about individuals' agenda to target? Oh, I'm already dealing with that, dude. I'm already dealing with it. I'm already dealing with it like crazy, and it's atrocious. It's atrocious. It really is. It's embarrassment. Everything like my phone being mass called when I'm trying to share a live event, when I'm doing what I do. It's completely wrong to do that. It's almost like tearing down the podium when someone goes to speak. If you don't want to hear what they have to say, go to another room or put your fingers in your ears. You don't have to listen. You could go to another channel. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is multiple other things. But we're right here, just so you guys know. The agenda for change is right here, right now. Yeah, you're not kidding. I don't know who that was, Tim. Who was that? Struthers in his seat. What's going on, Struthers? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. How's everybody doing today? I'll tell you what, I drove for I don't know how many, 20 hours maybe. I've been stop. I pulled over and slept from I think I slept from 1 until 5 a.m. I was on with you guys when the rain was really coming down back there in the Northeast. And so it's like, you think it's the Freemasons? I don't know if it's the Freemasons as much as I think it's the idea that you have to cede your power. Because remember, we always say demand, and I've caught myself saying it too. I don't think it's a very sharp thing to say, because power does not cede power to the weaker power. I've been saying this for a year now. June 20th will be 1 year where I've said the same thing. Power does not cede power to the weaker power. It doesn't say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to cede power to you because it's the right thing to do. That's not how it's done. Power either grants power to the lesser power, or it uplifts the lesser power, or the greater power is overtaken by sheer numbers. And that's where we have to get, because we don't want to get into a force fight with the government because it'll kill millions of people. We don't want that. I don't want to see millions of people die in my lifetime. That's not what I want. It's not what I want. I don't want it. I want to live in a country that respects the rule of law and the 4 principles of the rule of law. The first being the government and its agents are accountable under the rule of law. That's what I want to happen. That's what I want to see happen. I don't want us to go to a revolutionary war. I'm not interested in that at all. Not even kind of, not even sort of, not a little bit. I don't want to kill anybody else. I don't want anybody else to be killed in front of me. I don't want to see people die. Hold on a second. Okay. I had to go over 2 lanes. I was in the wrong lane. I was heading one way and I was going to go another. I was messing that up. So, it's like, I want to get to a system that is truly based on the rule of law. And that would include churches paying taxes. I don't think that if we should be taxed, but you don't get taxed if you say you believe in this or you believe in that. I don't understand. I don't understand that. Yak attack. You're just the. I feel you and I don't feel you at the same time. I kind of just weed out, these things that are just silly. There's things that are just silly. Look, I agree with some of the. I don't agree with it at all. I don't agree with these traffic laws. I don't agree with it at all. I think we have a fundamental problem of being over-policed. Over-policed. We just are over-policed. It's incredible. And just so you know, if you listen to that Patric Lyoya, how do you say his name? How do you say his name properly? Kent's okay, man. I talked to him last night I think we talked for 35 minutes on the phone last night. How do you say it? Lyoya? Patric Lyoya. That's his name. Lyoya. That's his name. What's going on? Hey, what's going on? /58, Sly58. How you doing? Good to see you. Sly58 is my friend. So I appreciate Sly big time. I appreciate all you guys. It's Lyoya. Lyoya. Okay, that's what it is. It's Lyoya. Yeah, the income tax is just absolutely ridiculous. It's been normalized. I mean, we watch these filthy pigs beat, rape, kill, murder people in the street, and we just hold a camera and say, no, wait, don't, stop. Please don't do that anymore. I mean, we say to people all that, you can hear it. As the cop is beating the guy, he's going, please, no, sir, please, sir, don't hit me anymore, sir. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, and who's been strip searched? How many times do you go into the dungeon to be strip searched and you're like, yeah, I just can't wait to turn around and show you myself naked. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's absolutely shocking. And I say it all the time, and I'm not afraid to say it every single time. Turn around, spread your butt cheeks, and they get to look up your butt. For what? For what? That's solving the drug problem? That's solving the contraband problem in jails and prisons? No, it's not. It's not. The cops looking up your backside is not solving any problems of the jail or solving any prison problems. Yeah, he's really being charged with second-degree murder, which is absolutely great because Patric Lyoya, thank you for putting this spelling out there for me. I appreciate it. Patric Lyoya was 100% murdered. He was murdered. That's 1,000%. He was murdered. Yeah, the reason why they turn you around, you heard the Marine the other day when I did that. Did any of you guys see that? Did you guys see the video where I did the social experiment where I asked the cop if he knew how people saw him, and then I went and talked to 5 or 6 people in the gas station parking lot, and it was about 50-50. I think one person disliked him more than liked him, so it was a little more for dislikes than likes. But the 2 people who liked the cop, one was the son of a state trooper, and the other was an MP in the Marines. So is it shocking that those 2 guys liked cops? Not really. Not really. But then the Marine, what he said is when you go to basic training, they shave your head and then strip you down naked and look up your backside. So that means that if the Marines do it, and then I asked him, they do that to break you down, right? He said, oh yeah, break you down and then build you back up, building blocks, he said. And if you're a rudimentary thinker, then that's great. I don't mind being broken down to 0. But if you're not a rudimentary thinker and you're already advanced in your philosophies, then I don't want to be broken down to 0 so that you can build me up to believe in the philosophies that you want me to believe in. Because I did the reading. I know what it says. We're supposed to be a country based on rule of law, and we are not. That's the problem. That's the entire problem. And that's why these guys on YouTube are all like anarchism and volunteerism, because they've never seen a country based on rule of law work under the rule of law. And that's what I was talking about. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating that we have to celebrate someone gets charged with murder when they should have been charged with murder. when they have to have a discussion about whether or not it was murder, because he does have police rights. What are you talking about? You grabbed a dude who didn't speak English, and then Christopher Schurr tried to hold him down. He couldn't do it. And then he got frustrated. He couldn't hold the man down, and he shot him in the back of the head. That's what happened. And we have to celebrate that this scene. But wait a minute. You know what? Let's call Jack. Let's call Jack. Let's see if Jack filed that writ of mandamus for James Sheets' murder. Let's see if Jack filed the writ of mandamus, because he's supposed to have filed it, but let's see if he... I gotta put this phone on. Jack, I got you on speakerphone. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm not live, am I?
Oh yeah, you got 384 people listening right now.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. This is Jack. He's a lawyer friend of mine out of one of the states in America. And Jack, I called you because I was trying to find out if he sent me a card that we're going to put out, and then after that, I think you were going to file a writ of mandamus. Did you get that writ filed yet? Maybe.
We did. I haven't gotten my green card back on my request, so.
Okay.
Once that comes back that they've received it, then we can go forward from there.
So what that means is you filed your own public information request, correct?
I thought it was in the public interest that there's speculation that the police instructors had done something inappropriate. There was certainly evidence to indicate that from the video that I saw that showed at least a concern about a body cam, and that's why I requested it to either end the speculation or confirm it.
Right. So we saw something on body cam that we can't quite confirm yet, and there's other cameras on the scene, and so we requested those. We also requested all of the text messages from Tommy Shinneman. We requested those because he was texting people like crazy. And then, so you what'd you call it a second ago? Because I call it something different. You filed a green paper, you said?
Well, I sent it to them, return receipt request. So what happens is once they receive it, they sign, and you've received certified mail that has a green card.
Right.
Once you receive that, you have to sign for it. The green card then comes back in, and that evidence is the date that it was received.
Okay. And so what Jack is talking about, you guys, is he's talking about he sent in his own public information request because I had filed one for myself and I'd filed one for Christy, but then obviously I'm not in Ohio. So my friend Jack here, he then submitted a public information request through certified mail. That's what he calls a green card when they have to sign for it. And so now Jack is waiting to hear back. How long ago did they get the green card, Jack?
I don't have it right here in front of me. We mailed it at the end of last week. So they probably received it. I got the green card on another piece of mail on something completely different.
Okay.
But I haven't received that back yet. But
one of your other cases?
Yeah, this shows, what the green card shows is that they've received it. But once they receive it, then they have duties under the law that they have to act.
Right. Right. People have rights, cops have duties.
And it's a little, for this legal term, it's a little loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
As to how and when they respond. Different states have it. Some states have it where there's definite timelines. In Ohio, they don't have that. So what it says is a reasonable time. And so they do have a policy where they've specified what they believe a reasonable time is, and I expect to hear back from them in some capacity. If they don't, my expectation is they'll probably claim it's evidence in an ongoing investigation, but I think regardless, the request should be made. I'm surprised the news outlets in that area haven't made that request.
Me too.
And I mean, that's why I did it. Is I think there's speculation about malfeasance, and there were certainly indicators, or at least cursory evidence, that they were concerned about being videotaped by the one video that everybody did see.
Right.
So
what is the Struthers Police Department time frame that they have listed in their policies that would be a reasonable time before they release the body cam footage?
After they've received it, I believe they say it's not a police department's policy. It's the city of Struthers, and they say if you want to go in and inspect it, they say you can go in at any reasonable time. It takes into account the volume of records, the proximity of the location where the records are stored. It's the goal that they should be acknowledged in writing or feasible satisfied within 3 business days. So I would expect, and generally that's the way public records work. If they can't get the records, or there's a reason they can't, you need to at least acknowledge that they've received it.
Well, you got that receipt from the green card anyway that they did receive it.
I did not receive that back yet.
Oh, but you did send it in, and I'm sure you did. You sent it in more than, you sent it in for at least first class mail.
Oh yes. I mean, it's sent certified mail. I just haven't had a chance to track it to see where it is or anything. I could do that, but
there's an update in the Patric Lyoya case that I just now read across the screen, that they're now looking at a new way to mount the camera on cops. How about eye level vision with a little tiny headset that all makes one unit? How about that? Would you imagine that? So how long, Jack, before you say I'm going to file a writ of mandamus? And when you file that writ of mandamus, for the people listening, can you explain how that works?
Well, the way I would handle it is to give them I would send a file. Once it was received, and if they didn't do anything on it, then I would send a follow-up. And I would put a timeline in there of 10 days or so to at least have an acknowledgement that they've received it. And then you have to go to your next step, which would be a writ of mandamus. And what a writ of mandamus is, basically it's a civil court proceeding designed at having the judicial branch direct another branch of government to do something.
Right.
And so what it is from my study, that would be the next step. Is you have to go through the mandamus action. You're asking a judicial branch entity, a county court, to issue a court order that directs the police to release those records.
So in this particular case, it would be a police department being ordered by the court. So which court do you file that writ with? The writ is essentially a petition. So who do you file that petition?
Yeah, I don't get bogged down in too much. I mean, there's technicalities with petitions and writs and motions. Basically you're making a filing in the court. And you're asking for a writ. The writ is the court order. You're asking, it's a petition for a writ of mandamus. So that's how that's. And
does that go to the Struthers courthouse, or does that go to the Ohio State Supreme Court? Who gets the writ of mandamus?
It would be the court of general jurisdiction. So it would be the county court.
So it'd be the county court. So which county is in Struthers in?
I'm not sure.
Maybe the 400 people listening, they can tell us, what you guys, what county is Struthers in And thanks for taking my call, Jack. I appreciate it. Sorry, I should have told you I was going to be on with a few hundred people. But Jack's a friend, and he is an actual licensed attorney in one of the states in America. And you know, he has his own process that he likes to do. And so he said he's going to file his own PIR and then follow it up with his own writ of mandamus if they don't give him the body cam footage. And that's the best way to do it. You know, let a man just do what a man's going to do, or a woman. So he's just made these processes. So now we got to wait 10 days. And then after that, we'll file a writ of mandamus with the county. It's Mahoning County, Ohio.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And when you file that, do you just file that with the clerk's office? You go to the clerk at Mahoney County and say, I want to.
Yes. I mean, generally, wherever their filing center is, generally it's the clerk. Other states may call them clerks. Sometimes have general roles. Sometimes there's specific clerks for criminal and clerks for civil. But that's where you'd file it.
Okay.
And you'd have a hearing in front of a judge, and they're going to raise an exception. I didn't see where there was an exception. There is an exception for an ongoing investigation. So if it's an ongoing, and they're allowed to redact them. But.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
If there is an investigation, Chille, they let the investigation play out, and then they have to release the tapes, and that's what happens in a lot of cases. I don't agree with it.
So you said they're allowed to redact some of the body cam footage?
Yes, that's in the Ohio Revised Code. There's certain things they can redact.
So then
I don't see a whole lot that they can redact in this, and I think I won't say the video we did watch. There was redactions. We don't know what the redactions were, but there are the Ohio Revised Code provides that there's areas that should be redacted. But I can't match them up to say whether they should be or shouldn't.
And that's the whole thing. You know, the people who do love this country, and I'm one of those people that loves America, and I want America to succeed. I feel like the only way we're ever going to get to a succession is into secession. The only way we're going to get into success, Jack, is if we allow total transparency in a 360-degree way, or we'll never know what really happened, because that other cop who, the other good citizen who did the filming from about 100 yards away, it shows Tommy Shinneman holding a shield as he kind of blocks the other cop who puts his whole body into the car. If that was me or you, Jack, and it had been a drug case or even a murder case like this one is, we'd be arrested and charged with conspiracy.
Well, I mean, let's be fair there, Chille, and I'm not taking away from you. I think you have to be fair. There's no, I know you were saying it looks like they're planting the gun and they're doing this. I didn't see all that. What I saw, though, was concerning was that they were acting very concerned that there was a camera on.
I'm hot. I
thought that was pretty definite. I think with all the other things that are, that all the speculation that's going on with the whole case, I think it's to the public interest to release them.
I mean, you know, well, let me push back a little bit, Jack, and remember Jack's my friend. So often I don't see cops pop one arm around the other cop and say, "Guns in the floorboard," as he pops his hand forward with a white glove on. I've never seen that before. Have you?
And that's something's got to convince me, but that's why I asked them to release it.
Right.
It says all the body cams, all the text messages, you know.
Yeah.
If they have nothing to hide, then they release it.
I mean,
usually when they have something to hide, it's not released. I've never seen where they've released a video. That's what I usually see. Now, where I'm at, there are no bodies. There probably should. But if they have nothing to hide, then why don't they just release it? They don't have a problem releasing it whenever it's showing the person holding the knife, they shoot him.
So what'd you think of the shield, the whole shield thing after he said that James is not going to respond to raising his hands up? What'd you think of that?
Well, I thought it's ridiculous, but I don't, it's not unusual to see ridiculous actions from people.
From cops?
In high stress situations, they're trained, but not trained real well. So they're getting the shield. Apparently, I'm not knowledgeable on police training, but apparently to protect themselves so that he doesn't spring back up and shoot somebody. Not that he was going to, but the protocol would be to prevent that.
But no one springs up and.
That's why they would do that. But that's kind of beside the point. The point is, they need to release everything. If there's evidence of some kind of malfeasance, then the people should be held accountable. And that's the only way anybody moves forward, where it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's already, it's getting worse around where I live. It's getting worse, If people haven't had a run-in yet, then they will eventually.
It only takes one run-in. You only got to put in the torture cuffs one time. Just get put in torture cuffs once, and you'll be just like me.
Yeah, there's a video. I think it's by a gentleman called the Batuzzi.
No, Batisau. That's Philip Turner from Turner versus Driver.
Philip Turner versus Driver.
That's him. I know him. I'm honored to know him. We're not friends or anything, but
there's a video of him, and they put the handcuffs on him for absolutely nothing.
Yep.
He's sitting at a picnic table filming the police parking lot from a picnic table that's in a Sonic parking lot. Probably eating his Sonic, but then they put the handcuffs on him, and you can see he starts to wince in pain, and you can see that. But he said the pain of the handcuffs does not compare to the pain being felt by my ears right now, as the police officer is trying to explain why they did everything.
That's what he said?
Yes.
Philip Turner is a G. Just so you know, when he made his symbol, he's got a symbol for Batisau. He sent it to me on email maybe 10, 12 years ago. That's how long I've known this guy. And I think it was 2012 or 2011. He sent me his icon for Batisau and asked me what I thought of it. And I got back to him right away. And I said, I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool. Because when a man creates something, or a person creates something, a woman or a man, whatever, they put a lot of pride into their work. And so I looked at that icon he created for Batisau, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. I'm super, super stoked that you did that. And then he would go on to, and we were associated through an online publication called Photography is Not a Crime. They now have a very popular podcast that Carlos Miller runs. Photography is Not a Crime, if you guys never heard of that before. Well, Jack, I want to thank you, man. Thanks a lot for doing some legwork on this and putting your professional lawyer brain into it.
Well, I think it's important to discover, what's going on here. I heard what you're saying. I didn't see it, so I said, let's find out what's going on, because there are certainly some things that were concerning. And if we allow it to kind of go unabated, it's only going to get worse, and I don't know what happens when it gets worse.
Well, if they try to strip, I've been telling people, no violence, petition, assembly, petition, legislation. If they try to strip away our guns with Joe Biden trying to force through gun legislation, it's my fear we will go into a civil war. I believe that the interior states, even people in California and New York, they're not going to give up their guns to this tyrannical, chaotic government. They're just not going to give up their guns when it's such a police state, prison state. They're just not going to do it. I know I'm not going to give. I got my gun right here. I'm not giving up my gun.
I think we talked about that too. I'm a pretty proud amendment for the most part, and my belief is just. I don't know, you gotta keep crazy people from getting guns. They're too dangerous.
Well, but you can't do that through the buying process. You got to keep crazy people from getting guns through the communities. You're not going to create a law that's going to make people go oh, I think I just won't get one because I'm breaking the law. I want to kill everybody in the school, but you know what? I don't want to break the law to get the gun.
You've talked about it. It's the whole kind of flipping of how our society worked in the early 80s. There's no investment in there's no good investment compared to the bad investment.
That's right.
Bad investment is in the prisons and in the police and in the things that don't offer good returns, and investment in education and mental health. Those things are good investments, and things have flipped, and we're seeing the result. So
I was talking to a libertarian the other day at this New Hampshire meeting, and we talked about pro-choice or pro-life. And I said, isn't it funny that there's, both parties that are so against each other, pro-life, pro-choice, but, there's no party that runs on the idea of, instead of funding abortion clinics, how about funding life clinics? Do you ever think about that? Do you ever think about, why don't we fund clinics where we say, if you're 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, you get pregnant, have a baby, and you're young, and you're not going to be able to afford that baby, we'll support you. We'll foot the bill for you. You live in these, a dormitory style living with other women who had babies extraordinarily young and weren't ready. But then, we fund those women to have those kids. We have funding for abortion clinics, but no funding for life clinics. And I'd never really said it out loud like that before that meeting the other day. But I think that's the best way to actually put it in perspective for people, because personally I am pro-choice. If women want to have an abortion, then okay, fine. But I'm also under the idea that a lot of women, I know this for a fact from my own personal experiences, a lot of women will get abortions because they don't have any money and they don't have any opportunities. And to bring a baby into the world when they're 14 or 18 or 19, they're just not ready for that. And so they're more willing to have the abortion because it's funded instead of a pro-life clinic being funded. And those are just my thoughts on that. So I just,
Well, I think anybody with any sense would agree that an abortion in any sense is a bad thing, or a result of a bad thing. And so then you go from there. I believe that, I'm an individualist. I think people should be able to make their own choices. And the woman should be able to make the choice. They shouldn't be diminished because they're a woman. So that's what I think. And so,
yeah.
For what it's worth, it doesn't really matter.
If I was only king for a day, my friend. All right, everybody.
Anyway, I gotta get going.
Thanks for the phone call, Jack. I appreciate you taking the time.
All right.
All right.
Nice talking to you, Chille. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jack. Okay, so if I was king for the day, how I would do it and what I would do, I would fund pro-life clinics, not pro-life clinics, not pro-life clinics, but life clinics for women that wanted to have, that were on the fence but didn't want to have a baby because they couldn't afford the next 3 or 4 years with having a baby and not having the support that they need to have that baby. I'm just not sure if that worked. I don't know if it did or not. But that's the one thing I can't stand, is your phone sliding down the crack of your seat. Just drives you absolutely crazy. Drives me absolutely bonkers when I can't get my phone because it slides down the crack of my seat. It drives me crazy. And I saw that thing called the Car Buddy, a little leather strap that goes over it. I just don't have it. Sal, are you guys still there? We lost a bunch of people. I'm really sorry. What's up, News Now Ninja? Is News Now Ninja in the house? Wheeah! What's going on, Playboy? What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Did you guys get your We Don't Stop t-shirt yet? Because I'm telling you, they're going to be gone. I'll bet they're gone by beginning of next week. I'll bet they're gone by the beginning of next. I'll bet that they are. I'll bet by next week there is no more We Don't Stop t-shirts. I'm going to bet. And then what was that song? Tennessee. What was that called? Ninja's Fault. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I think I'm just in a weird place in Tennessee here. I shouldn't have to hide my location, and I'm not going to. I'm going to just be myself and live my life, and that's what I'm going to do. Buffy the live feed Slayer. Yeah, light worker, what's going on? I read some of your comments, light worker, and I don't understand them. I guess that's the best way to put it. I've read some light worker 1111 comments. I really don't quite understand what you mean in some of the things that you say. Someone took a screenshot and sent it to me and said, here's what light worker said, and I read it. I really didn't understand it. I didn't know what you were talking about. I was kind of lost. I was like, what's he talking about exactly? Because I'm not really sure. But, you know, everybody's, just so you know, sometimes I read comments. I'm just so used to the, you know, let's do this today. Let's do this. When I get off in 2 miles. Yep. So, in 2 miles, just you buffering. Good. Good. You know, that's what I'm trying to say is I should be able to live a normal life, and I'm going to. So, you know, I feel really bad for people who push the limit, because I hope they don't have to end up getting hot lead. That's what I hope. I don't want to have to do that in my lifetime. But when people put other human beings under situations where they feel trapped or are under extreme duress, often things happen that are tragic. So I hope that people don't decide to test my resolve to see if I don't do what I have to do, because I will do exactly what I have to do. If I have any fear at all whatsoever that my life is in jeopardy, I'll do exactly what I have to do. And that's sad for you, because I'll have to go to court, but you'll be going to talk to God. So hopefully you've made your peace before you decide you're gonna try it, you know. But it's just so weird. It's just such a weird thing. You know, it's a very strange thing, you know. But remember, you know, this is the new era. This is the new era of what leadership is going to be like. You know, you can see what's happening in government, right? You can see what's happening in government. The government officials, the people in government, your representatives in the state, representatives in Congress, representatives in the Senate, they are now shielding themselves from the public, because all the public now has a bully pulpit. Whether if you have a Twitter account or an Instagram account, then you have a bully pulpit. You have a way to announce how you feel about these government personnel. And so what you're seeing from government personnel is they're hiding. They're locking the doors and they're saying, "Oh, it's COVID. Sorry, we can't get at you. It's COVID." And that's the excuse that they've made now that we're living in this digital world where everything can be accessed right now. And then you get these crazy wackos who create ways to stalk you and track you. But you're seeing it in our own government now. They are limiting the access to themselves because of the crazies like this woman on YouTube. Because of the crazies, that's why. Not because we want to redress our government and we want to forcefully tell them how we feel. Because you get crazy people. That's why. That's why. Because of the crazies. And whether we like it or not, there's crazies in our culture. And I just would hate for that to happen like that, for my life to be put on hold because some crazy did something stupid. I would hate that. I would really hate that. But just remember, Patric Lyoya would never, ever, ever have an opportunity for justice if it wasn't for that camera being on. And remember, the pig's body cam didn't catch it. It was his friend who had a camera who was afraid to film the pig, but yet he still did kind of stealthily like this. And he's the one that caught that pig shooting Patric Lyoya in the back of the head. Lyoya. So that's just what we're dealing with. That's what we're facing. And so until we have cameras everywhere, there's a lot of people out there who need money that would do something for you. Lyoya, that's his name. Yeah, the cop's camera got knocked off because the camera needs to be at the eye level and it needs to be locked in on a with a back camera. This is my idea, with a chin strap right here. You put a chin strap on the ear listener, on the headphones, and then the goggles attach to the headset, and then the back camera attaches to the headset as well, and a simple strap right there, and then we don't look like we have a militarized peacekeepers force. Instead, we have peacekeepers who we know are going to be on camera 24/7. If you have to go to the bathroom, you have to unstrap your headset, go to the bathroom, and come back. If you shoot somebody, you're caught on camera. And by the way, we can disarm all these cops now. How many cops were hanging out there at Uvalde? How many cops, after the kids were killed, how many G.I. Joes did you see standing around in Uvalde after the kids were already massacred? How many was there? 60? 100? How many? Wrong. Right or wrong? 60 or 100? How many? Okay, so Patric Lyoya was in, I think it was in Detroit, Michigan. He got pulled over by a cop named Christopher Schurr, Schurr. Christopher Schurr then was suspicious that Patric Lyoya had stolen the car. And so then after that, instead of treating him with any respect or dignity or talking about it, he just grabbed him. The shirts won't even ship until tomorrow. So if you ordered a shirt, they were supposed to ship today, but they're going to start shipping tomorrow. So I just want to get that. And so essentially, Christopher Schurr, who could not hold down Patric Lyoya, was it Grand Rapids? Is that where it was? Was it close to Detroit? Was it Grand Rapids? Is Grand Rapids close to Detroit? I don't know the Northeast very well, so I don't know where Grand Rapids is. Thank you, Archangel, for truth. I appreciate it, man. So yeah, you know, Patric Lyoya was in Grand Rapids, and when Christopher Schurr pulled him over, he wasn't quite sure what was going on. And so instead of treating Patrick with any respect at all, he just grabbed him. And then Patrick didn't understand that because he's not American. He didn't speak very good English. He was asking, he didn't understand what was going on. And so you can hear the other African guy off camera, and he's going, just talk to him, just talk to him, just talk to him. Just talk to him, bro. Just talk to him. He's telling him just to talk to him, but the cop is in full attack mode because he has to solve this stolen car dilemma, but there's no stolen car. There's no stolen car. Yeah, we're at 335 or something like that. I don't know. So it's like, you know, as long as we have these one guy's in charge of another guy and he has absolute power, we're going to have a tyrannical system that's completely based on power, on muscle power, which muscle power becomes gun power. And so that's what you're seeing. I did see 360 audits. Just talk to him normally. That's what he was saying, right? Just talk to him normally. That's what he was saying. He just kept saying it. Just talk to him normal. And the cop just wouldn't stop attacking Patrick, but he underestimated Patrick, and Patrick was stronger than him, and he out-wrestled him, and he was about to get up and walk away, but then he goes, you got my taser, you got my taser, as though a non-lethal taser when he didn't even have it in his hand. And then he shoots Patric Lyoya in the back of the head. I covered it on this channel. YouTube has a blocker on it that says you got to be over 18 to watch this, which is ridiculously stupid because you can sign up for a YouTube account and put that you're over 18. It's so stupid. We're protecting the kids. You can't find a 12-year-old group that hasn't seen pornography, but you're protecting the kids. Okay, got it. And this video is restricted to 18 or over because 17-year-olds could never see that content. They would never watch that. A 16-year-old, if they saw Patric Lyoya get his head blown off by Christopher Schurr, they probably wouldn't be able to take it. Or is saying it's for the children now just a fallback for a good excuse as to why we can put authoritarian dominion laws over the top of you because it's for the kids? But the truth is that the kids have already seen everything by the time they're 9, 10, 11, 12. But we just keep on saying, oh, it's for the kids. Oh, it's for the kids. But it's not for the kids at all whatsoever. That's a bald-faced lie. You guys know that, right? You know that. They put an 18-year-old restriction on the Patric Lyoya murder, and it's like, wait a minute. Why is it, how come only 18-year-olds can see that Patric Lyoya was murdered by that pig, but individual human beings under 18 can't see that? Who's going to be susceptible to being murdered by pigs? It's going to be kids. It's going to be the youth. The youth are going to be susceptible to being murdered by cops. And so when you get there and you start to really think about it, you start to say, you're going to limit the access to kids being able to see the videos where the cops are murdering people. But then when the cops murder the kids, you're going to say, oh, didn't he see the video where that cop held down Patric Lyoya and shot him in the back of the head? Oh, no, he couldn't see that because he wasn't 18. I mean, what a farce. What a scam we're living. You're not protecting the kids by saying they can't see this video, because if I was a 14-year-old kid, and I was at one time, right, I would just say that I was born in the year 2003 so that I was 18 years old. That's all I would say. If I was actually born in 2007 or 2008, then when I signed up for my YouTube account, I would just put that I was born in 2003. Man, could you believe that? And then YouTube thinks I'm 18 and I can watch any content that I want, because I want to see all the content on YouTube because it's a publicly accessible website. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing? I mean, think about that for a second. You know, if you go back to someone just said put the year 1900, if you go back to 1900, you know, before the TV came out, 1950, you could really limit what your children would be exposed to at that young of an age. But then, just so you know, back then in 1900s, we had this concept of free-range children, free-range child raising. In other words, in the 1900s, you could just let your kid leave the house and just go walk around the neighborhood, and it was perfectly normal. There it is. I'm just going through. I'm driving through Tennessee here, so I'm down in Tennessee. If the stalkers want to stalk me, I just warn you, don't come near me or scare me, because I am packing heat, and I would hate for something bad to happen to you. So just make sure that you, if you want to stalk me, you do it from a distance, because it could end up very bad for you. But we've created this idea that we're doing everything to save the kids. But are we? Isn't the war on drugs, isn't that ruining our children? Isn't that ruining the youth? Aren't more high school kids and junior high school kids charged with marijuana crime in America for a high school kid today? What is it? Anybody know what it is? What's the number one crime for a high school kid today? What is it? Alcohol consumption or marijuana consumption? Possession or intoxication? That's the number one crime for high school kids. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Insane, right? Insane. Absolutely insane. So we have all these ideas that we're trying to save the kids, but yet we perpetuate this bullshit war on drugs on them, and we give them criminal records before they're even 18 that have to be expunged. There are kids, I was one of them, who had to go live inside of different kinds of facilities because they got caught smoking marijuana. Right here. That was me. That was me. I got in so much trouble for smoking marijuana in high school. I got in so much trouble. I got grounded for months on end. I got in so much trouble for smoking marijuana. And what effect did it really have overall on my life? Zero. The punishments I got were far worse. The bullshit I had to deal with as a high school kid were far worse because of being marijuana. or being ineligible, where you don't let a kid do sports because you're not getting the grades we want because your history teacher doesn't like you, so you're not going to get to play basketball. And that's the system we've created. And so you get to this place where you're like, we're doing it all for the kids, but you're not. You're not. If you were, you would decriminalize all chemicals so that kids couldn't get in trouble for chemicals, because kids like to go out and drink when they're in high school. I'm not sure if you guys know that or not, but kids like to go out and drink in high school. They like to smoke dope, and some even try harder drugs. But that's a pretty normal part of high school and college. It's not a big stretch. Is marijuana still on a Schedule 1? Why is it? How come it is? Why is marijuana on a Schedule 1? We all can see it now. We all can see that smoking marijuana doesn't cause millions of accidents around America. Do you remember originally they said, I mean, you got to be old enough to know this. You at least have to be a Gen Xer in your 40s to remember this. They said back in the day, if you let them smoke marijuana, can you imagine how bad it's going to be? There's going to be car accidents everywhere. People driving stoned. I don't want that, man. Are you kidding me, man? In LA, we take a bong rip before we drive across town. That's how it goes in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if you guys know that or not. In LA, you will take a bong rip before you leave to drive across the city. If you're a Gen Xer, you remember. Gen Xer or older, millennials, you might not remember this. But they used to say when I was in my early 20s, man, let people get stoned? No way. It's going to ruin the freeways. Can you imagine it? Yeah, I can. I sure can. 100%. 100%. That dangerous freedom. Woo! What's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy? You're free, and you're free, and you're free, and you're free. Dangerous freedom. Man, they're gonna go outside and they're gonna smoke dope. Oh, who remembers this? I smoked weed. I wasn't that big of a drinker. I can drink if you get me drinking, but I don't really drink, especially now that I'm older. I really just hardly ever drink. But there was a time I could drink. But for the most part, I never really did. I was more of a smoker. I'd smoke weed. So who remembers this if you're a Gen Xer or older? Do you remember when you'd give a nod to someone, just like the cops would look at each other like, yo, you want to smoke? Yeah. We could know you want to smoke just by going like this. I know you want to smoke just by doing that. And so how many of you guys would be like, and then you guys would be heading outside and someone drinking a vodka tonic would walk up and go, oh, they're going outside to smoke marijuana. You guys are going to smoke weed, aren't you? Aren't you? And it's just like such garbage. It is such garbage. Who had to deal with that? I had to deal with that my whole life growing up. And then get this, when I was just graduating high school. Now mind you, I had got in trouble for smoking marijuana all throughout my high school years, because I smoked marijuana since I was 12 years old. I just quit for wrestling season, and then I'd come back in, I'd smoke marijuana again after wrestling season, because you're not allowed to smoke weed during wrestling season or you can be kicked off the team. It doesn't matter if you didn't do anything wrong, you're just not allowed to smoke it, which the NBA players, they nixed that idea. They said, no, we'll smoke weed if we want. So I got in trouble my whole life for smoking marijuana. So then when I was graduating high school, this is a true story. I was walking out the door because I was going to graduation. So I grabbed my pipe and I grabbed my weed and I was heading back to the backwoods because I'm from Alaska. You just open the door and boom, you walk off into the woods. And so I was just going to go off into the woods and smoke a bowl before I went to graduation. And as I was walking out the door, I grabbed my pipe, I got the weed, I was going to shut the door. I looked back, I saw my mom. I looked at my mom, I realized she was going to smoke some weed too. So then I go back to my mom and I go, Mom, I go, you're about to smoke. And she's like, what? What do you mean? And I was like, Mom, you're about to smoke some weed right now because you're going to my high school graduation. So your heart's all amped up. So you're going to smoke some weed. She's like, well, and I was like, why don't we just smoke together for the first time ever? And my mom was like, all right. But and it was so weird because the same thing I had gotten so much trouble for my entire life. I'm talking suspended from school. I mean, I'm not even going to go into the gory details of what I went through just for smoking marijuana. Not that I smoked marijuana and then beat somebody up. Not that I smoked marijuana and I didn't do my schoolwork, which I didn't do my schoolwork anyway. It had nothing to do with marijuana. But now, for the first time, as I'm going to graduation, I look at my mom and she's like, all right, let's do it. So I smoke a bowl with my mom right before my high school graduation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that was it after that. My mom never gave me a hard time about smoking weed ever again because she doesn't smoke weed anymore. She quit smoking weed, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. But she quit. And because she just doesn't like it anymore. She's 70, she's 72 this year. So, you know, she doesn't like it. You know, she also doesn't like people calling her up and calling her a fat fucking bitch either. So I don't really understand why someone did that to my mom. But, you know, I mean, hey, what are you going to do? You know, you file a lawsuit. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. So anyway, I smoked a bowl with my mom right before I graduated high school. And then I left a week later and I never really went back. I went back a year later, 8 months later or something like that to my hometown for maybe 9 or 10 months. And then I took off after that. And I go back to Alaska now and again, but not very often. I more go to Colombia to see my family in Colombia when I can get out. Like, just so you guys know, when I disappear again next time, I'll be in South America. You know, and I probably will need a break, you know, in the next I don't know. I'm on a mission, and I know that we're right over the target because there's so many people going, no, get away. We're right over the target. That's why so many people are like, no, quick, run. That's a bad man, but there's no victims. There's no victims of my badness. Where are the bad people? Where are the people I victimized? Where are they? I don't see any. I mean, I've been online now this is my 11th month on social media. So I don't know. I figured the victims would come out of the woodwork by now. I mean, considering I have to 300,000 on TikTok, we're going to hit, 42,000 today. We should. You guys, and they have killed this, it's the people. They've hurt the channel. That's okay. It's not really about YouTube anyway. It's about getting into executive power. That's what matters the most. And until we get into executive power, we're not going to be able to change the country the way it needs to be changed properly, to be honest. Wow, I've been on here for an hour and a half. I didn't plan on that. But I'm really glad because this is a 24-hour drive. The drive I'm doing now is 24 hours. And then I've got to also drive to California. So I'm going to go from here over to the Midwest. I may go up, see my buddy Jim up in the middle of nowhere. And then I'm going to meet up with my buddy David over on the west side of America. And then I'm going to head over to Cali. I'm going to go through Nevada. I'm going to go get my storage unit emptied I just don't need that storage unit over there anymore. It's just I'm spending too much money. Amazing audits. I may be coming through Colorado. Make sure you guys send me your contact information. I get every email, no matter how they try to over spam me. I still get emails. I still get every email. I just block the spam as quick as I can, and then I just get right to the nuts and bolts. I feel like people who mass call my phone, unless I'm on a live and it's annoying, or people who spam my email box, try to annoy me, those things don't really bother me. It's almost like gas prices, right? Gas prices suck. But even when gas prices are normal and it's like, $3.50 a gallon or $3.75 a gallon, or, those are the normal prices in LA, $4 a gallon, $4.25 a gallon, something like that. I don't do that. I don't go. There's a gas station here where gas is $4.07, And then if I just go, 6 miles this way, there's a gas station down there that's $3.99. No, I don't do it. 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 Don't do it, Playboy. I'm glad we got to talk today. I was kind of feeling like, because I had just had a hell week of having to put together lawsuits for people that don't matter. It was just a hell week for me. It was hard. And poor Zaner, he took the brunt of my aggressiveness because I was just so frustrated that I had to waste my time this week. But now that I wasted my time and I'm showing you guys, it's pretty scary what people are doing. It's pretty scary. And that does cause people to have fear for their lives. And that's how people die. That's how people get killed. You scare someone to the point where they get jumpy, and then you go and you try to harass them, and they've gotten so much harassment that what happens is someone gets their head blown off. I'm saying real stuff here. That's what's happening. So I hope that no one gets hurt through all this harassment and nonsense. I really do. Because I can tell you one thing, it's probably not going to be me. Is that fair? I mean, is that fair? I didn't sign up for this. So we'll see what happens over time. We will see what happens. Yeah, hit squad is clearly a threat. Mafia squad, that's clearly a threat. Listing my phone number, listing my address and my phone number are listed on that on that Discord. So, I mean, I wouldn't, just to be honest, just so you know, I hate cops. I can't stand them. I hate them. I wouldn't put a cop's address on the internet. I wouldn't do that to him. I don't like the guy. I don't have any respect for him. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't mass call a cop's phone. I would call him and text him and tell him what I thought, but I'm not going to call his phone over and over and over and over and over. I'll call him, but then that's it. He doesn't call me back. He doesn't call me back. So, it's just a strange thing. And I think most of all, it's just dangerous for people who are involved because remember, you don't know everybody on your account. I don't know everybody here. 350 people here. I don't know everybody here. I mean, one of you guys could be my next future amazing wife. One of you guys could be a total psycho who wants to be a stalker and a killer. I don't know everybody involved here. So it wouldn't be fair to pull out Amazing Audits in Colorado right there and be like, oh, Amazing Audits, here's his address and here's his phone number and here's where he's at right now. Because I don't know if one of you guys in here wants to hurt Amazing Audits. I'm just using him as an example because I said I'm going through Colorado. So, it's just I think it's a bad thing to do. Of course it's a bad thing to do. That's why it's illegal. That's true, Amazing Audits. You got to get to me. I know you got a good personality. That's why I made it about you. You got to have a good personality, especially if you live in Colorado. Colorado is one of those states I've considered moving to. I wanted to move to Ohio, and I still may. I mean, to be honest, I want the people of Ironton to take up for themselves. When they said that I had threatened with guns to take over the auction and protest with guns, absolutely, I said you should always be armed and you should be protesting and you should be armed. There's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing unconstitutional about that. There's nothing threatening about that. Then I've also said in the same paragraphs that, yo, JNS, what's up? That I've also said in the same paragraph that we don't win by doing violence. We win through petition, assembly, legislation. That's how we win. That's how we win. That's how we win the game. That's how we win. That's how we win. So, yep. Anywho. All right. Well, I've probably been on here for long enough. I've taken 100 minutes of time. That's probably too much time for any one man to take up on the space here. So I should probably step off and let someone else get the bully pulpit for a while. But I do appreciate you guys coming by. Thanks a lot. Have you guys gone by DeletelawZ and got your t-shirt yet? What about your trifold? Did you get one of these? Because I've got the original one. It's still got the white on the edges, but you know, no highway parking. You can park on the highway anywhere you want, but you have to have the actual holding in front of you to be able to pull it off. You know, so you got to have the actual holding. So go by DeletelawZ.com. T-shirts will ship tomorrow. They're at the location in Texas. They're coming out of Texas. So T-shirts will ship tomorrow. The first batch of T-shirts will ship tomorrow, and that's if the ladies get them all packed. So I'm going to send off that information to the ladies tonight. They'll have all the data, and then from there, you guys are set, man. The T-shirts are coming out. I'm really excited about it. Did you get your We Don't Stop T-shirt? Because I'll have mine on Tuesday. I won't have my T-shirt till Tuesday. I thought I was going to have them down here past Tennessee, but I'm not going to have them down here in Tennessee. So I'm going to have to get them early next week, and then I'll have my own to wear. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited. So anyway, listen, I will get the flock out of here. Thank you guys so much for letting me spend this time. Remember, Patric Lyoya is now, his murderer is going to be, oh yeah, there's the Facebook page. Is anybody on Facebook? I got a Facebook page called Tri-State Cop Videos. You know, I don't spend any time on Facebook because it's just a cesspool. It's just a place. Facebook is a lot like my stalkers. It's just a place where people can cut me down, say horrible things to me, and I read all my messages for people from Ironton and from the tri-state area who need help or exposure on their case. So I read all my emails, and so I just get a plethora, not dumb cop and Struthers. There was a plethora of traffic. It's called plethora. It's a plethora. But I get a plethora of emails, and people also, if I post anything on Facebook, then the haters can't wait to come around and write something awful or say I'm terrible. Facebook is just a cesspool of hatred. But on the Tri-State Cop videos, we moderate that page so you don't have to deal with all that hatred. So it's a lot better. It's a lot better. I'm in Tennessee, guys. I'm in Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee. All right. Please learn how to say Leviathan. Am I saying it wrong? Spell out the pronunciation then. Yeez attack. Good thing that cop's on the side of the road right there. Thank God for him. I believe Leviathan is pronounced Leviathan. Yak attack. Unless you have a way you're going to sound it out, Yak attack. What's the way you sound out Leviathan? Because from what I've always known, and even there's been hit movies called Leviathan, and of course that the movies are named after Hobbes' book. I need to poop. All right. I will get the flock out of here, guys. Let me know how to say Leviathan, because apparently I'm saying it the wrong way. You guys go by, get your T-shirt. I'm telling you, probably 4 or 5 days, they're gone. And it depends. If you're a small or a double XL, maybe there's hope for you. But the medium, large, extra large are going to be gone within a matter of a couple days. So make sure you get over there to get your We Don't Stop T-shirt. Because I swear to you, I am not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. Love you, man. Love you guys. Thank you guys for coming by. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that, TY. Maybe we should jump on the phone and have a conversation. Maybe we should do that. And, okay. I appreciate you guys. I'm just a sensitive person. I know I seem super, super, super tough, but I'm pretty sensitive. You know, my feelings get hurt. People who I like and respect can hurt my feelings pretty easily. It can happen in a millisecond. So that's how fast it can happen. You can hurt my feelings if I really like you. All right, I'll get out of here. Thanks for letting me watch. Thanks for letting me talk. I appreciate it. We don't stop. We don't stop. Under any circumstances, under any conditions, we do not stop. We keep pressing forward. We don't stop. And I mean it. All right, love you guys. Thanks.